released early this morning from the Detroit Reentry Center. That's where he spent the weekend for violating the terms of his parole. As federal prosecutors prepare to rest their case against Detroit's former mayor, they showed the jury stacks of cash seized from Kwame Kilpatrick's friend. 7 Action News investigator Heather Catallo joins us live from Federal Courthouse in downtown Detroit. Heather, how much money are we talking here?
A lot. The feds revealed in court today that they raided several locations associated with Bobby Ferguson and seized about $2.3 million. Federal agents showed the jury in the Kilpatrick corruption trial several photographs of stacks and stacks of cash they seized from Bobby Ferguson's businesses and homes. Former Detroit Mayor Kwame Kilpatrick, his father Bernard Kilpatrick, and Ferguson are on trial, accused of running a criminal enterprise out of City Hall. An FBI special agent and an Environmental Protection Agency investigator both testified they found about $2.3 million in cash, cashier's checks, and certificates of deposit concealed in various safes. Ferguson defense lawyer Mike Rattay challenged the FBI agent, getting her to admit that it's not illegal to store cash. Rattay also got her to say that after the FBI started asking for records from Ferguson's various banks, such as First Independence Bank, some of the banks closed Ferguson's accounts. Rattay suggested that when the banks won't take your money, a safe is a good place to keep it, and that Ferguson needed cash on a regular basis to run his companies. Meanwhile, EPA agent Carol Paskevich showed several charts to the jury about Ferguson's revenues from city contracts he received during the 6 years Kwame Kilpatrick ran the city. All told, Ferguson's businesses had nearly $125 million in revenues, and of the city contracts that are part of the federal racketeering case, the revenues were nearly $84 million. But Rattay questioned those numbers, pushing Paskevich to admit she did not include any costs or expenses in the totals, just gross revenues. After court, the normally outspoken defense lawyer was quickly silenced by Ferguson's lead attorney as the trial winds down to its final days.
I'm not going to comment on the evidence, guys. I mean, you know I'm under, we have an order from the judge. You heard the questions and you heard the answers, okay? And the only people that it really matters to is what the jury believes, and that's it.
That was actually quite a funny moment because Gerald Evelyn had just gone through the revolving door and then came all the way back around through the revolving door to grab Mr. Rattay. Of course, all the lawyers trying to follow the judge's new orders that nobody talk about the witnesses or the evidence because we are in the home stretch. Federal prosecutors expect to rest their case tomorrow. Then it'll be time for the defense to call some witnesses of their own. Reporting live in downtown Detroit, I'm Heather Catallo, 7 Action News.
And we
Joanne.
know the defense is chomping at the bit to get their shot after months of really some damaging testimony. But tomorrow, Heather, on this final day of the prosecutor's case, what are you hearing that we can expect tomorrow?
More from an IRS agent who's currently on the stand right now, but also the jury is expected to hear Kwame Kilpatrick in his own words. There are some jailhouse recorded phone calls that are expected to be played. So while Kwame Kilpatrick will not be taking the stand in this case, it sounds like the jurors are going to hear some of him talking on some recorded lines.
Well, I know you'll be there covering it for us along with Ross Jones. We thank both of you very much, Heather. We'll see you again soon.